That trend where it's like every time I reconsider dating somebody, I remember how my ex had me looking is astonishing. But also, it is reiterating something that I try and tell all the women in my lives all the time. Men are detrimental to women's health, like almost as bad as cancer. They will sit and take your soul, your entire life force, all of your love, all of your beauty, and leave you with nothing and let you wither away. Like, time and time again, they are detrimental to women's health. They are preying on you. They are leeching off of you like demons. Release them.
He doesn't want you. He wants your energy. He wants your life force. So these type of men that want to siphon you will love bomb the hell out of you and future fake you. They will tell you whatever you need to hear. They will study you and make sure that they're the man that you want them to be. They will future fake you by promising an engagement down the line, promising a marriage, promising a family. All right. Everything that you want, everything that you dream of in a relationship, he will give you the appearance and he'll even act it out. He'll even do it. So these men who want to siphon your energy, he will love bomb you and future fake you because he really wants you to open up. And he not only wants you to open up to him, he also wants you to like grow. You know what I mean? When a woman is in love, she glows differently. That's because the light inside of her is really, really shining. He's essentially fattening you up to consume you. Think of the story of Hansel and Gretel. Do you remember how the witch kept feeding Hansel candy to fatten him up before she would consume him? That's essentially what he's doing. Because when someone feels special, they feel safe, they're able to open up and they glow. The witch's plan was once she sees that glow, that's when she delivers the attack. That's when she consumes her. That's what these men will do. They will fatten you up or they will get you to glow and then they'll start to siphon you. He will start to say little things to make you insecure about your body. He will start checking out girls in front of you and acting like it was no big deal just to make you insecure about yourself. He'll chip away at your confidence. He will start doing things and behaving in ways that he never used to just to hurt you so that he can siphon your energy. And he'll keep building it up. And then in the end, he will do something big that will really hurt you to deliver the final blow and deplete you of all your energy.
Hello my loves and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be really diving deep into the 5 signs that a man is siphoning your energy and how he does it. So we're going to be looking at the 5 ways that men harvest your energy to siphon it and have it for themselves. So as you saw with this recent TikTok trends of women showing, you know, how they looked before they got into a relationship and how they looked after, completely fucked, broken, so sick. Some even ending up in mental asylum, some even ending up in jail. It's a truly common, real thing. And I'm so happy that more women are now noticing it. Because I've been victim of this twice. And the second time it happened to me, it was by far the worst. I myself was also super fit, super healthy, the best health of my life, the best mental health, so happy. And then as soon as I got into that relationship with a very covert narcissist, he completely siphoned so much of my energy, completely, pretty much all of it. That has taken me, you know, completely to hell. So my health completely got destroyed, chronic illnesses, you know, 2 stone of weight gain, acne, severe anxiety, suicidal depression, like you name it, it happens. It's like they will literally destroy you. And this is what needs to be spoken about so much more, because it is truly the most sinister, evil thing that I myself I've ever gone through. And so many women, you know, unfortunately go through this. You know, this is the type of information that I would have killed for when I was young. I wish to God I knew this when I was like a teenage girl, when I was in my 20s. It would have saved me so much heartbreak, pain, suffering, misery, health issues. Like, it would have prevented so much damage that was done to my physical, mental and spiritual bodies and health. Is absolutely insane. You know, this is a sort of thing that every single woman needs to know, because on the flip side, if you get with a man who is very loving towards you, who's not siphoning your energy, who's reciprocating it back to you, you will glow. So the first most obvious way is, of course, through sex. So like I've said, you know, for years and in all my other videos, sex is an energy exchange. So whenever you're being intimate with someone, you are exchanging energy with them. So the problem is when a man is like narcissistic or parasitic, he's an energy vampire. Every time you're having sex with him, he is getting access to your womb. He is getting access to your sacral chakra. And this is what is so problematic, because he's literally siphoning your creative energy. Because within your sacral, within your womb, you have creative energy. And this isn't just about creating a baby. This isn't just creative energy in an artistic way. It's a creative energy in how you manifest your creatrix energy to manifest the life you desire. So if he is a parasite, a narcissist, he's literally taking that energy for himself. Because this is why, even in ancient times, you know, emperors would literally pay money or demands that they get to sleep with high priestesses whenever they were feeling like confused or lost in life. They would literally have sex with a high priestess so he could get divine guidance within himself. So if you're up here, which a lot of like normally spiritual women are and that sort of thing, or just very wise, noble, you know, loving women, if your energy is very high, vibrating high, but he's here, he's going to drag you down when you have sex. So he can literally get to your level or above, you know, energy wise, frequency wise. And this will happen and get worse and worse the more you sleep with them. You know, he's literally plugging into you. So imagine you're like, you know, a plug and he's the charger, you know, he's, you know what, and he's literally plugging into you and getting that energy, getting that electricity, okay? This is the gift of women. This is why women are meant to spiritually guide and protect men, and they're meant to do it physically. So, but that's a whole other video. But this is why, because women, your womb is a portal. Men don't have this. Only women do. So your womb space is a portal to God, to source, to the universe, to whatever you want to call it. But it is an energetic portal. This is why in ancient times, you know, there was high priestesses, the wise old oracles, the psychics of tribes, but even in like, you know, like with emperors, kings, they always had women with them. They always had spiritual oracles or witches around them. They always had this throughout history, because as soon as you're having a sexual exchange, they're taking that energy for themselves. So this is why you need to be so protective of your sexual energy, because if you're having sex with a narcissistic man who's like a black hole, he's going to literally suck you dry. He's going to get you more and more and more drains, which will in time drain your beauty, drain your vitality, drain everything else in your life, because now he's also tainting you. So he'll literally be putting a dark energy within your womb space. So now you're creating with his tainted negative energy. So this is why women will start to get bad luck. They can even get psychically attacked. You'll start to feel cursed the more you sleep with a man with negative energy. This is why you have to tap into your dark feminine energy, so you don't allow men to do this to you. So I actually have released a new Dark Feminine guidebook with 3 powerful rituals of how to do cord cuttings, how to basically cleanse your womb space of all your past lovers' energy, and how to then activate your dark goddess energy so it doesn't happen again. So I will link that down below if you're someone who's really struggling with this. If you've had a past relationship with a narcissist, I highly recommend this. If you feel connected to them still, because they will still basically be siphoning your energy, because when you have sex with someone, it's like they've put a cord in your womb, in your sacral chakra. So now you're connected to them through this cord, through both your sacral chakras, to his as well. So he'll still be pulling on your energy. And this is why so many times you'll feel like, oh, I can feel his energy even when you're physically not in contact. So this is why you must cut that cord. I also do have a cord cutting service, which is new. So if you don't feel confident, if it kind of scares you to do that sort of spell work, then I can do it for you. The link will also be down below for that. But this is one of the most freeing things to call back your power, to call back your energy, is when you cut that cord, but also cleanse your womb. So the second method that men use is provoking. So this is very common again with abusive men, is men will deliberately provoke you to get some sort of emotional reaction out of you so they can again get that energy for themselves. So I suppose the best example I can use for this is actually Monsters Inc. So if you remember that cartoon, that animation of when the monsters will go into the children's bedrooms and then they'll scare them, and then obviously the children will scream out of fear. They would literally get and collect that energy in tanks to then obviously power up their city. This is what men are like who do this. So this is exactly what they do. So they'll literally provoke you to release some sort of like, you know, big emotional outburst. So this can be obviously crying, hurting you, you getting just angry at them, just anything like that. So this is why you being in even in a negative energy, he'll still enjoy it. He'll pretend like he doesn't, but he will, because it makes him feel powerful, because he knows he can basically puppet you and do anything to trigger you. And then he's enjoying all that energy. So even from a metaphysical point of view, when you release all that energy, it's very powerful and it depletes you when you do it. So you're basically releasing that anger to him, or that sadness to him. So they feed off negative energy like a vampire. Energy vampires love it when you cry, scream, and shout, because they feed off your suffering. So this is why you can't allow men to provoke you. You have to starve them instead. And when you do this, this is when you will see them react. So this is very common with narcissistic men. So basically they will provoke you and poke you. They'll do things that they know is hurting you. And then when you snap and go crazy or cry, they then twist it onto you, but then they enjoy it at the same time. So this can be even to the point where they get turned on by it. And again, it's such a sick, sinister thing. And I saw this in my previous relationship. It's like, oh, sometimes when I would be crying, they would start to pleasure themselves or say, oh, you look so attractive when you're crying. And I don't mean like little bits of normal crying. This was like sobbing, like complete heartbreak. So this is like, it's a very demonic energy is basically what it is. So they will literally feed off your pain. And this is what is such a huge psyop within this matrix. And these types of men literally are like almost like demonic, to be honest, because they are feeding off your pain. And this is at the same time depleting you, weakening you. So the antidote to this is you have to starve them, like I was saying. So you must not react. You must grey rock them. So again, like with narcissists, you must go no contact, grey rock, or just completely emotionally detach from them. And this is when you'll start to see them be like, they'll still try to get into your energy. So this is why men will keep coming back to you, even when you've gone crazy, even when you've acted insane, even when they've seen you crying and completely having a mental breakdown, they will still come back. And this isn't because, oh, they love you so much. No, it's because they enjoy it. They enjoy the power trip, the ego trip that it gives them to know that they can literally break you so much, to break you to that point. It makes them feel powerful. So then that energy feeds their ego so they can go off into the world and conquer their dreams. It's sick. So this is why you have to starve them. No reaction, no crying, no shouting. You walk the fuck away. It is a very dark psychological trick called reactive abuse, but they feed off your energy outbursts as well. So the third sign is stonewalling and ghosting. So this is quite common. Again, there's different levels to this. So this is kind of like, you know, obviously with modern dating, so many women will be like, why do men, you know, initiate talking to me or going on a date or whatever, and then they just ghost? You know, why do men go on a date with you, love bomb you, so they future fake as well, so that they'll be like saying all these beautiful things, making you feel happy and special, literally feeding you up, fattening you up with good energy, and then they ghost you to make you crash and then burn out and then be like, what the hell? Men feed off that energy. So this is kind of like, again, like when you see, you know, horrible example, like when people are fattening up a pig like animals to slaughter on, you know, later on, is what he's doing to you. So when you go on a date or when you meet a narcissist, especially when they love bomb you, they're making you build energy up, because when you are like in that euphoric state, again, that's another form of your energy growing. So again, using the Monsters Inc. example, when they switch, obviously at the end of the film, to instead of making the kids scream, they make the kids laugh. They saw, wow, this is a really powerful energy, and it still fills the tank even more so. So this is why narcissists and men do this. They'll love bomb you, they future fake, because it's fattening you up. So from an energetic point of view, you're absolutely vibrating and glowing. Your frequency is getting so high when you're feeling, wow, ecstatic and blissful. This man's my soulmate, he's my twin flame, I'm so happy, he's making me feel so beautiful, so loved. Wow, this is amazing. And then he strips it all away like that. So this is a very common way that men, you know, unfortunately siphon a big chunk of your energy, because then it's like they boost you up and then they take it down. So they're literally getting all that love, high vibrational energy, and then they're feeding off your pain. Because then usually after they ghost you or stonewall you, so that's when they just neglect you, ignore you, they won't interact with you, they won't reciprocate any energy to you, you chase them. So then you're the one chasing and being like, what's wrong? What did I do? Or you're crashing out because he's just ghosted and blocked you or whatever. So now you're like, oh, is it me? What's happened? What's wrong with me? So then that energy is feeding him, even when he's physically not with you, because thoughts is still energy. So your thoughts are going to him. It's the same with evil eye. So when people are thinking really bad about someone, they're sending that person negative energy. So you're pulling and chasing, you're basically sending so much energy when you're worrying and when you're yearning. So it basically creates a yearning energy, which again is very powerful, because if that man is feeling like, oh, she wants me, she's yearning for me, because he's done a very sinister, dark psychological trick, which is inconsistent behavior, which mimics a drug within the brain. So when a man is hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, that's literally the same response that a drug does to the brain, because it raises cortisol and dopamine all the time, which is very, very addictive. So this is why men do this tactic, to keep you as a supply of energy, and to harvest and siphon it. It's literally black magic. It's literally them doing like black magic on women. It's very dark, because this will destroy you. And then the longer you're in this energy, the more you start to go down. So the next sign is obviously when men create a trauma bond with you. So this is probably the worst form of energy siphoning, because this will be when you are actually in a committed relationship with them. And now it's like, once they get their hooks into you, like I was saying, with the inconsistent behavior, the hot, cold energy, after they've love bombed you. So basically what narcissists do with love bombing, devaluing, discard, hoover, they will literally now cause a trauma bond within you energetically. So this will now be all their hooks deeply in every single one of your chakra, in your auric fields, completely now trapping you. So it's now you're like in his web. And you're basically a nice fat little fly that he can come and literally like feed off and then do what he wants all the fucking time. And you're stuck in that web, you know, unable to escape. So this is basically what a trauma bond is like. He'll just keep feeding off you, whilst you're the one going down, 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 getting more sick. So when you're in a trauma bond with a narcissist, with an energy vampire, and he's siphoning your energy, this will then cause physical health issues. The first sign will usually be like anxiety, skin breakout. So you'll get acne, your hair might start to thin or get dry or brittle. So skin is always usually the first thing to show up. But then weight fluctuations. So you'll basically get symptoms associated to cortisol. Because when you're in a trauma bond or any form of toxic relationship, your stress levels will raise your cortisol levels through the fucking roof. So usually 3 times the amount that a human being is supposed to be having. So this will cause so many health issues. So this will cause like cortisol face, which is again trending. So this will be when you look really puffy, really inflamed, you'll get acne, you'll be more oily. You'll get so many things like that. You get a lump at the back of your neck. You'll gain weight, but massively around your midsection. That little pooch that is like almost impossible to get rid of. That's cortisol belly. So you'll also get gut issues. And this will also deplete your magnesium levels. So many people don't realize when your cortisol and stress levels are so high, it will completely make your magnesium be diminished. It will make you very deficient in magnesium. So then this will cause like tingles in your hands, tingles in your feet. You'll get eye twitches. I remember in my previous relationship, my eye would twitch non-stop every single day for years. It was that bad. You'll also get nerve pain. So your feet will start to feel really hot and prickly inside your skin. So you'll get all these weird aches and pains that you would have never had before. And then more sinisterly, more severely, you can then get things like anemia, even lupus, SIBO, so severe gut issues. You can get, autoimmune diseases. You can get extreme fatigue. That's another one. So of course, one of the most common signs is extreme fatigue. You'll get anhedonia. So anhedonia is when you become numb. So you'll shut down, you'll become numb. You won't be interested in doing anything that you used to do. It won't give you joy. So things that used to give you joy, like any sort of like food or hobby or anything, it won't give you joy anymore. You'll literally just feel dead. You'll feel dead. So this is what I mean. It will completely destroy your mental health and your physical health and drain your beauty. You'll look the worst you've ever looked in your life. They will completely drain your beauty. But then also your goals. It can ruin your career because you can't perform efficiently in your career or manifest your money goals or whatever the case when you're in this energy. It's pretty much impossible. So this is why it's such a serious thing that you must take seriously, because this can ruin your whole life. One man can ruin your life. So men will want you, sometimes they'll trap you at home, they'll isolate you, cut you off so you're sick or end up being a little trad wife or even stuck home with kids or whatever. But then they completely drain you dry. They won't be a supportive husband. They won't be a good father. They won't be any of those things. They won't help you out at all. You'll be completely betrayed. So then, of course, this will cause betrayal trauma. So then a big symptom is obviously developing CPTSD, PTSD. And then this can even lead to ADHD symptoms. It can worsen people with bipolar issues or BPD. So many women think they have these mental health issues when they don't. It was actually the abuse and severe trauma and stress that caused you to have symptoms that are similar to those things. So even if you had small levels of ADHD, they will be amplified like by 10 when you go through trauma. So then what you would have like, you know, been able to handle will now be debilitating. So this means that the symptoms that you would have had before now become completely debilitating. You'll not be able to focus. You'll get, you know, even memory loss. And I've had this myself. You'll get memory loss. You can't remember a lot of things. You'll get dissociation, derealization. You won't feel real anymore. So this can even turn people like go into psychosis. So this is why women, you know, end up in mental asylums. So it's no joke, and you won't understand the severity of it until it happens to you, or you see a family member going through it. And this is why it's so important to understand so you don't become a victim of this. So the fifth sign of men literally harvesting your energy, siphoning your energy, is more to do, this is more of like a low-key one, but both very toxic men do this, and both kind of like, you know, just more like player types do this too. And it's literally just you being in their presence. So basically just having you around them, or having connection or contact with you. So this will be like men sending you messages on social media, or men being very inconsistent with you. So they'll kind of like come in and out of your life. They'll yo-yo in and out. So they'll might send you a message on WhatsApp and then disappear for a few weeks and then come back again. Or, you know, putting basically likes on your stories or whatever the case, or stalking you, sending you loads of messages, even taking you out on dates, and then, you know, being very cold when you're not physically with them. So this is again just men trying to get a little chunk of your energy to boost their ego. So this is not as sinister as, you know, siphoning. So when you're fully in a relationship with a man, especially obviously a narc, and then he siphons every ounce of your energy. But when you're like casually hooking up with men, or casually going on dates with men, it will still be a chunk of your energy going, unless they're a gentleman, unless they're in their divine masculine energy, like I said before, and they're reciprocating the energy that you're giving to them. So unless they're kind, consistent, you know, and they're actually taking care of your physical and mental well-being, then that won't be the case. But if you're with a man who's very inconsistent, you know, he's hot and cold, just don't bother. If he's emotionally immature, or if you do go on a date with them and you see the, you know, typical red flags, do not bother. So this is where you must be in your dark feminine energy, not your people pleasing energy. Because people pleasers and women with no boundaries are literally the perfect prime victims of this. Because he will just want to come to you, get a little boost of energy, and then go away. And again, the good example of this, I suppose, is when women get harassed and stalked by men who obviously are way below their league, who they won't want to be in a relationship with, but they pester them. And then as soon as they, you know, give them a little bit of energy, as soon as they say, okay, hello, as soon as you're kind to them, or even go on a date with them, they turn mean. And this is literally because he wanted to harvest your energy. It's the only reason. He literally wanted to have your validation so then he could go off and, you know, use your energy for himself. So again, it's more to do with an ego boost. But it's still damaging to you if you keep doing this all the time. So if all these men keep coming to you, so this is why dating apps are so fucking toxic, because you just talking to men is you sending them energy. So this is why men, they'll waste your fucking time. This is why as a woman, especially in 2025, you can't be kind anymore to just every single man. And it doesn't mean that you're evil or whatnot, but you must protect your energy. You have to protect your boundaries, because if you don't, you'll get taken advantage of left, right, and center. And it's like, you know, you'll be the one drained and feeding everyone. So it's so important that you don't feed your energy to men who refuse to do their own inner work, or are literally just there to harvest or siphon it from you. It's so vital. So I'll leave it there, my loves. If you want to learn more about this, if you want to reclaim your power, cut cords, cleanse your womb, so you can once and for all start to recharge and heal. If you have had this happen to you, then please click the link down below. I have my Dark Feminine Guide with 3 very powerful rituals that completely tells you how to do that. So you can start to get your beauty back, your health, up your finances again, up your energy, your confidence, just everything will, you know, glow up essentially. So if you want to do that, that is down below. If you want more personal one-to-one help, then I do have my oracle reading service. So as always, I'll link that down below as well, where I can personally help you one-to-one. And I do have a 20% sale at the minute for spring. And if you want to learn more deeper esoteric wisdom and things I can't really post on here, then join my Goddess Coven Patreon, which is a special members only platform where you can get access to over 100 videos that I have on there. So please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. And until next time, my loves, I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Stay in your power, protect your energy. Ahimsa.